Good morning. I'm Derek, and I'm ready to start on a new version of my fan game. First let's see if I'm making a mark. Is it staying? All right. Yeah. Okay. So I am thinking of battle bridges and what they might look like, and what the character sees, what the player sees, not what the player sees. And I'm gonna use a blue pencil. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the player in a podium, command podium. That way I limit their movement in a believable way. And let's see, he's a crazy dude. Yeah, so we'll get the player. He's in his command podium. There we go. Above his bridge, surveying everything that's happening underneath there. It's like a throne, command throne that they often have, but it's a little different. This is the first time me trying to draw with the camera in front of myself. So we're gonna see how that goes. So that's just the player's view, so we're gonna call that. I'm trying to. My brain farts a little bit, and my eyes flutter. If I don't make a conscious decision, am I drawing something in 2D or 3D? So we're just gonna draw our 2D camera, okay? Not making it 3D, but there's our standard camera symbol, and the camera's on a pivot, but we don't move. This is our view, and then okay. Fan game. Budget of I'm using Unity because they gave me a free copy. They gave everybody a free copy during COVID, so I'm using that. For years, I was going towards photorealism in games, but this is the 90s. And now photorealism comes for free. You can just do that. And it takes 10 times as long. And it takes 10 times as much memory, storage, and processing power. It's probably more than 10, but. So, we're going to take our weakness, we're going to identify our weaknesses, and then we're going to say that these weaknesses are strengths. And then we must find a strategy where those weaknesses are actually strengths. So, I'm going to go back to what I originally envisioned was a very painterly style, something reminiscent from the late 80s, early 90s style. If I could make the game look like some of the original 40K artists, I would be just that. That's what I want, and I think I realized that the other day, that this is an opportunity to turn one of the things that we're not good at into something positive. Let's see if I can adjust this a bit. No, these modern computers, video, they really don't do the old video feedback as well as. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So, our weaknesses are our strengths. Okay. And because of the sensitive subject matter of the game, we're not going to reward the player at all. The player gets no rewards. Well, how does that work out? Well, okay. In old games, you would upgrade. You'd upgrade your castle, you'd upgrade your equipment. And we're going to do none of that. We'll find some archaeotech, and it might be a good idea to talk about how I envision that to work as a little mini game. Just because archaeotech is beyond our abilities to comprehend here, we're going to do something completely different, and it's going to be the player is going to find archaeotech. We're gonna hopefully, because I want the spaceships to be destroyed in such a way that they'll eventually create space hulks. I want the game to last 1,000 hours. So let's write down some of our goals here. 1,000 hours. Hurt the player. And it's very Orwellian, but weakness, once identified, is strength. Okay. And I should add in some sort of 40K thing. 40K philosophy. Yeah. Duty ends only in death. Okay. So we have our basic philosophy, and here's how archaeotech might work. It's basically we are playing Tetris wrong. So yeah, that's clever, right? Each archaeotech you discover, each bit of technology you discover, and we'll have 2 Tetris boards. So we'll have for the ship and the whole ship, and then for the player as also a little one just for them. Maybe, I don't know. We're playing Tetris wrong because here's our archaeotech, right? Here's this piece we found on a space hulk. Here's a trophy that some pirate had, and here's some weird bit of elder equipment, and we'll identify. We got shapes and colors for our archaeotetris. Archaeotetrix is what we'll call it. All right, that's a good name because it's funny. Alexei wouldn't mind. He used to have an office just 3 doors down from me, and I would just go. There would be corridor meetings, corridor conferences they called it, and sometimes 12 people. Sometimes 12 people would be gathered around Alexei Leonidovich's office. I can't say his last name, much like I cannot say orbital bombardment. I've never been able to say Alexei's last name. So I always used his patronymic. So anyway, yeah. So we're stealing his idea. Like, who hasn't? And as the player, right? What happens is, oh, I've got this archaeotech. Well, let me install it on the ship. And then this new bit of archaeotech drops down. And I think the player will be able to, like, put it somewhere, like up on top. And then it's just going to be the most simplest physics thing in the world. And I think it'll be not bit mapped, but it'll be analog. It'll be a little analog, not a digital Tetris game. So this thing will be floating free, and then as it makes connections. All right, now this one's like +2 to the engines. You know, I'll work on that. And this one here has an effect. And this one has an effect. And as the maybe the connections are made, or maybe the whole thing's connected, this will modify the ship. It will. Oh, look at this thing. It's like it's a weapon. Well, you know, each shape will have. You'll kind of have an idea of what it does, but it will also be. You don't know what's going to do with all the other systems. So that way, every play will be a little bit different. The person can reinstall and reinstall and reinstall and try to get this one shape, like in this one special spot. You know, that'd be totally cool, right? Yeah, maybe. So, like Tetris, though, because we're playing Tetris wrong. If you complete a level, that just disappears. Okay, you know, it shorts out, it's gone. So that you want to avoid that. And that does give a limitation to how much you can have, right? And makes it a bit of a strategy. Where are you going to put these things? Because sometimes you don't. Maybe we want a buffer, just a buffer piece, so things don't connect, but yet also don't vanish. So there we go. That's how we're going to play Tetris wrong in the game. And we're going to do the. We're going to try to do everything wrong. Maybe that'll work. We're subverting expectations, right? So, players here in the podium, no reward. Let's talk about how. What if I spent more than like 2 minutes on doing a little drawing? And, you know, put some effort into it. And here we have just beautiful, I don't know, maybe these are beautiful architectural marble and whatnot. Just a sprite. You know, it's thinking about moving away from 3D. Still being 3D, looking 3D, feeling, you know, I have no clue. We're going to start a brand new project, and you know, I'm gonna not focus on the art, focusing on getting the basic structure of what our commands might be like. But yeah, so. Hurt the player. No rewards, because we're going to give the player everything in the beginning, but there's no way to replace it. So that's how we're going to hurt the player, and there are no rewards because, gee, you know, it's who's the game for? People who love Warhammer and have 1,000 free hours within their lifetime, I guess. So maybe I'll ask for some help. Maybe I'll draw up, like, here's What I just need to do is go hang out with some friends and just spend a few hours just drawing 15 arches, draw some gun batteries that look better than that. That looks like the tank I want in the enlisted game. Well, we'll draw it, and then I'll because strength is our weakness. Sorry, and I don't want to spend. I don't have $3,000 to spend for a Maya subscription each year. We're gonna use. We're gonna go with not photorealistic graphics, but something more brutally inspired. And shout out to Aiden Hughes, because I got to be there while they were working on the ZPC game. I was next door doing Spec Ops, but I was really impressed with that game. So if 20 people could do that back in the 90s, there's no reason why I can't do it. But my art sucks. You know, it's a bit sketchy. I never learned how to blend. Can you believe that? Yeah, I know. That is a big shame of mine. And everything needs more skulls. So, but I'll spend some time decorating. But say that the ship takes some damage and it's blown 50% damage. Well, we're going to start off with nice sprites and then degrade them. And we'll degrade them maybe in two ways. So we'll degrade them towards chaos, and we'll degrade them towards decay and stagnation. Decay and stagnation. And I'm hoping the sound and everything is working, and I hope the format isn't too annoying. Looks like arches. Anyway, through here we'll have the beautiful view of space, because these will be windows. I'm working on it, you know. And here in the podium, there will be, you know, characters. And in the ship's view, player will just click on one from down here. Click on this this character, which will probably just be a flat billboarded sprite, but it should look okay. We'll see. We'll see how that works in the test, and hopefully I'll have something later. So we'll click on the character, these little NPCs that are milling about, waiting for orders. You know, the player's kind of retinue and their agents. That's what I should call them. They're all agents. You know, one agent, maybe he's the captain. And then I could go back to calling it Master of the Black Ships. No, I did have a good copyright neutral name occur to me. I can't remember what it was. It was something, 2 words. Okay, so yeah. Then there'll be just wires. See, as the ship is repaired, we'll throw in these things, right? Like, and so after a few hundred hours, it should stop looking like a 30K ship and look more like what we expect in 40K. So I talked about let me check the word, Archaeotetrix, and the command podium, pulpit. It's a pulpit. Thank you. That's the word. Pulpit. And that way, you know, yeah, In the middle is the exact same hologrammatic display we got now. So that would basically, we would see this within a sphere in the center, and we're going to work on that and make sure that that's not too confusing, maybe. And rebuilding everything from scratch, but just keeping, it's just the art, and I don't like it. I want to go to get something a little bit more brutal, and maybe not quite so dark. That is the worst thing about space, is that it's, well, if you could see forever, it would be all white. Otherwise, it's almost all black, which is great for mood, not so great for clarity. So that is plan for today, and thanks. We're going to try to get this command area done. Space in the galaxy are already done, and I might just have to redraw some art. Maybe not. Maybe I can find some filters to change the art I got, but we're going to work on that later. I'm just going to work on, how does the ship look if it were hand-drawn? And that's my goal for today, hand-drawn spaceship. All right, thanks.